good evening, and welcome to all of you. But more importantly, welcome to Marcus, who's back in the game, having many months off. Mate, wonderful to see you. I'm glad you've brought good luck with us and a win. Oh, shit. Never mind.
Somebody's got to cause a riot, haven't they?
Mate, if it was going to be anyone, it was going to be you. So, I'm having a very quiet evening tonight, Carl. No comments at all. Everyone calm. Sorry, I'm just trying to finish a sandwich. And no, and no histrionics whatsoever. And my share pricing of Unilever is going to probably not increase at all. So, what are your thoughts, mate?
Yeah. Where should we begin? I mean, disappointing yet again. I generally believe after Tuesday night, we'd have a strong chance of picking up some points, even in an away draw or something, just a bit of positivity going into 2 home games next week. And it was rinse and repeat, wasn't it, in the defensive third, all over the shop in the back 4. I don't think we're going to lay much blame at Ashby Hammond's door this evening, because I thought he had actually probably his best game for the club. I don't think any goal you could really blame on him, and if it probably wasn't for him, we probably would have lost that 5 or 6-2. So, no, credit to him where it's due. I thought he was good. Yeah, some questioning on his kicking sometimes, but as a shot stopper, he did okay today. So can't blame him for that. Obviously, we'll get into the game a bit later. But yeah, disappointing yet again, but positive on the other side going forward. And attacking wise, we still look very dangerous. But yeah, over to Marcus on that one there.
Oh, thank you.
It's a pleasure, honestly.
Well, to be honest with you, the starting lineup, I think Tom Cleverley bottled the lineup. To be honest with you, I think there should be a few players that played on Tuesday should have played yesterday. I think that was poor. I think defence, we can't defend for our lives. I haven't been the greatest fan of Hammond, but like what Carl said, you can't blame him for the goals. I don't know what the hell Paulson's doing in the back 4, because, well, a blind man could do a better job than that. He doesn't seem to know how to head a ball in the back 4. And when every time a team attacks, they look like scoring. That's the problem. But our attack actually looks pretty good when they got the right players on it. But like we was talking earlier on, when you've got players like Sonny Bradley, if you've got whippets around you, like players like Hosseini and Tegan Finn, he wouldn't got nowhere near them. But you need the bottle to play them.
Yeah, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. For those who saw our Thursday Night Live Lounge, we had the majority, I think, of the QPR side retaining its place. And then I had to rush at 2:05 and chuck a team on Twitter that was actually picked rather than the one that we selected between us. But hey, what do we know? We're not UEFA A licensed coaches, and we're not getting paid a ton of cash to pick a team for Plymouth Argyle. So we're just here to talk about it in our own mad, insane, and rather ranty ways. But there we go. The man who took sense is back. Your massive fan, Sarah Mason Palmer, is singing your praises. Marcus?
Yeah, she's my drinking partner.
Is she? It's all coming out now. I thought you genuinely had someone on the internet who was actually going, finally, the man with sense is back. For a second.
No, she's got a liking for JD.
Okay.
And we're not talking about the sports shop.
Or Vance. I was about to say the vice president, but yeah, that's good. The Daniels version. Right, sorry, I'm trying to drink some tea. I've had a bit of a day, and Moors and Ho and kids, and I didn't get a chance to eat. So I've just wolfed down a sandwich in about 3.5 minutes to try and get online. I suppose we start going through some of the comments, chaps, shall we, just to welcome people in slowly and nicely before we get onto our rushly assembled deck. Steve Cooper, great to see you. Not the Steve Cooper, I don't think.
That would be interesting if it was.
No, it would be, yeah. From his reachable Hi guys, Branston got it right by saying all our new players are not good enough in this league. As a scout, he wouldn't put them in. I didn't think some of our new guys did us too badly. I think it was some of our old ones, but bad recruitment, fine. Who else is here? Steve, driving back now, still haven't calmed down. You've got some drive to go, Steve, to do that. Don't worry. Graham Byrne, good to see you again. Nice welcome back. Steve Vaughan, I don't know if you're officially earning while you're tweeting, Steve, or whether you're off tonight, but
he's having a very quiet shift, I'd imagine.
Yeah, very quiet.
Sleeping. He's sleeping.
That's an absolute harsh accusation. That's both unfounded, and we're not going to get him into any HR trouble by those slanderous rumors.
It's true, though.
It's true, though. Yeah.
It may well be. Thought Cleverley was toothless in team selection. The things we never got over with the Bosnian car salesman in charge, I was shocked when we conceded because there was a belief that we could defend resiliently. Defensive, we are currently inept. I cannot argue with any of that.
Can't argue with that one. Spot on.
Shane, block 9 Harris, should we be back after 11 o'clock? Thought we may turn the corner today. We were far from it. Well, we probably did turn the corner for 20 minutes, but it was the other bits in between that weren't. So we've put together our normal. Look at this. It's getting slick.
Look at that. Getting slick now. I've done it once, and now who needs Michael? Who needs Michael?
I love it. Go back to the beginning though. That's the only problem because you're halfway through.
Yeah, we're on slide 13. So let's.
All the way. Just when we were blowing our own trumpets, my teachers have given the answers to the test out again before the test begins. Oh dear.
We're just doing it in block 9 fashionable terms. Nothing's ever as slick as we say it.
Well, do we ever say it is? So match result for those who were stuck under a rock between the hours of 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Lincoln City 3, Bayliss on 6 minutes. The one to watch. So the thing I did put in the pod chat earlier today was we put not Jerry Collins, as I put after a long day budgeting, but James Collins getting 2, 1 being a dubious penalty in the 65th minute. Argyle 2, Owen Asani came on and ran him off the shoulder and then stopped the ball and sold the dummy to the goalkeeper and put it under him very well. And Xavier Michi scored from what it looked like the touchline by bending it in from inside the box and beating the keeper with a good pacey shot. And then just to add insult to injury, Werdu got fouled in the box and was sent off for it. Well, that's my story and I'm sticking to it anyway. On the 87th minute, was given a red card for his second yellow, which was lovely, or not.
And a yellow, you can't appeal against it, can you?
No, on 2 yellows, you can't. No. So he'll miss Tuesday night irrespective, which was a bugger because when I was picking my team earlier, I forgot that. And I
slick as ever.
Yeah, exactly. Slick as ever. Yeah. Next slide, please. So the FOTMOB scores, which, as you probably those who regularly watch, those that don't, welcome along. It's not normally this bad. Normally there's a host that actually knows what he's doing, but he's selling himself in the Bahamas with his family. We take the FOTMOB scores and the original lineup from the side and look at some talking points, basically. Marcus, do you want to give us a defence for the defence for the questioned Ashby Hammond, or Ashby Delazouche, as I call him, in goal? Because I thought he had 7.2 was his score. I thought he was better, probably as Carl said at the beginning of the game, beginning of the pod, probably had his best game for the club tonight. Would you say?
I would have said if it weren't for him, we would have conceded an extra 3 or 4. I mean, the defence is non-existent. So, you know, no matter what sort of goalkeeper you got in there, you got no chance of that sort of defending because the header from Paulson was shocking. And, you know, and he did some brilliant saves. That was his best game. I'm hoping he'll gain some confidence. But apart from that, if you don't get an extra couple of centre-backs, it's going to be a long, hard season.
Agreed.
I think this is the worry now, Gav, because we've been kind of clamouring for a centre-back, but I don't think 1 centre-back's enough, in my opinion. I think we need 2, and I honestly don't think that's going to happen. We were struggling to get that Bristol City lad in. I don't know what's happening with that guy at Celtic. Is he injured? Is he not? Is he coming? Is he not? I've no idea. So do we leave that and go on someone else? It still seems positive that hopefully Bristol City will allow him to come back down again to sign on loan, because we do need him and we need someone else in there, because I don't think ideally Wiredu in a back four is going to work. We want to release him back into midfield as quick as possible.
Isn't that Welsh injured, isn't he?
Well,
needs another operation.
I don't know. Why is he being?
Yeah, but that'd be right up our street getting another injury person, isn't it?
I don't know, because there's been nothing formally about his conditioning at all from Celtic anywhere, right? So someone that's in the know has said he needs a shoulder operation. I know he's had a history of dislocations on his shoulder.
Yeah, but do you remember when a couple of years ago he was going for Josh Coburn, was hanging around for about 3 weeks, and they decided no against it? We should go up to Celtic. Is he coming? Yes or no? If the answer's in that, if and an amen, move on to somebody else. Don't wait till the last day.
No, I think we've discussed that at length, and I think you're right. It's time is now ticking. I think Roberts from Bristol City was also down and ready to rock, and then got called back because one of the centre halves in the Bristol squad got a knock. So he was here ready to rock and paperwork signed and all that other bits that go with it, and it didn't happen. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I'll do some before we get on the back four. I'll just do some extra comments. Where shall we start? Steve Cooper, I'm not sure Asani needs to start Tuesday. I am sure Asani needs to start Tuesday night. No brainer. I agree. Graham Burns says never a dive. Completely agree. Steve says, where's he gone? Steve, we conceded for the first goal in the opposition first attack every game of the season. That is also true. For those who were saying that we should be men and resilient in defence, first goal, first try. Lovely. Adcol, welcome to the pod. Not seen your name before. Disagree that these players are not up to League One. They are as individuals, but the team has been thrown together and expected to work immediately. It may be a few months until we see it function. That's also, I think, a fair and rounded opinion. They seem to be gelling very quickly, though, would be my only caveat to that. Certainly offensively. Defensively, I'd say we probably aren't. But the defence part is mainly the squad from last year, minus a couple of very talented centre-backs, who's one's playing for Schalke and now one's playing for Stoke. So that's not any shock at all. Just a Jana, don't need his shoulders to play football. Fair. Live with that. I think that's fair as well. So the back four, as it started, and I think we had 4 back fours today, which was interesting throughout the game.
Well, even Boateng dropped back in the centre of defence.
Yeah, right. So it started off with Cornell Such at right back, Weirdo one centre half, Pulse on the other, and then Saranola playing at his unfavoured position of left back. Thoughts on that early, gents? You can see the scores being in the 5s and 6s, so obviously it didn't go that well.
No,
Carl?
I think Such was the stronger one out of the back four until obviously Galloway came on and did a little bit better than Poulsen did. But yeah, Poulsen poor. I didn't think Wiredu did too badly as a defensive action. He just got really bad luck with the debatable penalty on either side and the second yellow. I honestly don't think he deserved either of it. I think the ref bottled the big decisions. I think they were very, very, very harsh. But I thought he did okay as a back four. And yeah, I think Such keeps that position until we get Mackenzie back, and then we'll probably have another reshuffle again. But yeah, it's a bit of a makeshift back four. I think until we get a settled one with injuries returning and the added depth we certainly need there, and I can't see us stringing some results together until that happens. But offensively, we haven't got an issue at the moment. Obviously, we still need that number 9.
Yeah. But
I think we're going to create a lot more chances than we are obviously trying to concede. But there we go. It's not happening at the moment.
I don't think we're so desperate for a number 9 as much as we were before. Because the one that's really surprised me is Oseni. I reckon he could be a hidden gem.
3-2.
So I think the defence is more important than a number 9.
Hands down, yeah.
Agreed. I think we got goals all over the top four, haven't we? One of the things that was slightly missed earlier, but me doing my little ref watch piece, your man who got booked in the 20th minute, 15th minute, didn't he classer into Ibrahim in the first half on another tackle, brought him down, which I thought was another Stonewall yellow.
That's right.
And naughty boy.
Yeah.
Well, those 2 yellows make a red.
Mm.
The game's a very different position then, because it was 0-0 when that happened.
Yeah. He just bowled it. I think Ibrahim's got a bit of a reputation now anyway for getting a yellow, so I think the referees won't even give him first chance or second chance. He'll just go straight for the yellow because they know he's a bit of a hothead. And I think every team's going to play on that now. That's what we got to worry about.
I agree, but the fact that they should have been awarded a red card.
Oh, hands down, yeah.
I don't know if anyone's travelling back from the game who's sat on a coach or in the back of a car, or maybe toes poised over a bridge or something. Can give us an update and see what they thought pitch side, whether it was 2 yellows. It's certainly on commentary. The most irritating voice in football, Lee Michael, said it should definitely have been 2 yellows. So that would have changed the game dramatically. I know that TC is not a big one, is he, for harping on about decisions that didn't go our way. But there were probably 3 today, 4 that were pivotal and would have turned the game. Not that I'm going to sit here and say that would have made all life rosy, because it wouldn't, but certainly would have given us probably some points out of today's game rather than nothing. So back four then, I would sort of say, I'm got more defensive mind than I certainly am attacking. I thought Sorinoy did okay at left back, but they were very clear, weren't they, at putting long diagonal balls into our left back position. I think they probably worked on it during the week, thinking it was going to be Benarous, who was 5'7" or 5'8" there, and it was Saranola, who was 5'7", 5'8" there on tippy toes. And they seemed to, those diags come in, and we didn't get much change out of that. And Paulson didn't help out much, and when he did, he just put one back across the goal for the first goal of the game, which was slightly frustrating.
It's a shame, because I thought he was going to be slightly stronger today, because the game, being more direct would have suited him. But clearly, he's just shit at everything that we throw at him now.
It's just decision making, guys.
It's just terrible.
Because he gets in the right position to today clear the ball, and I'd said this to you before the game. I played prop. Here we go, Matt.
Here we go.
Matt's working most of my career, but I did have about 3 or 4 years playing football, and I was lumped into centre back because big, strong, left foot, kicking up the pitch. But I was taught very early as centre back, if you do 2 things, you either head it out. If you can't head it out, you head it up. You never hit the ball across your own goal.
No.
Right? Now, Paulson's played 60 odd times for his country, played all around the world. Surely the decision making says you either turn your head and clear it into touch, or you head it straight up in the air and win the second ball. What you don't do is go, oh no, what I'll do, I'll just head it towards the D when they've got 3 players on rushing and one of them whacks it first time in the bottom corner. So anyone who's a centre back,
it's a shame he didn't get taught like you did, really.
Well, you thought he would have, yeah. It's whether the brain scrambled, I don't know, but this just seems to be, a like brain fart for every single goal we concede. So Voodoo, we've only played 3 games and lost 3. Come on, looking at the maths, there's a 1 in 8 chance we're Brazil. Well, the other stat that I worked out earlier is that if we continue on this goals conceded rate for the rest of the season, we concede 122.6 goals.
It's impressive. That's impressive.
That's not bad. I don't think that's quite promotion form.
I mean, conceding 88 was some feat last season. I think if we go one better, then
I am no Carol Vorderman, as you know, face for radio. But even with those maths, conceding 122, we do very well to go up. Just saying.
Go up.
At this rate, you're going down.
Yeah, agree.
What are you on about going up?
Agree with that. Right, should we try and talk about some brighter things? No, go back a second. Sorry.
Let's go back a bit.
Go back one. Midfield. Now, brighter horizons, sunny uplands, whichever Borisism you want to borrow. Ibrahim, apart from his mentalist chucking someone over in the D after trying to get a quick ball away in the first half, getting him a yellow, thought Ibrahim and especially Boateng actually were two of our better players. Would you agree?
Yeah, he's a good player. Ibrahim's a good player, and Boateng started the season really, really well, which is good to see. But when you're playing Ibrahim, you just know he's on a booking every challenge he goes into, and you can't go forward with that. He needs his mentality changing somehow.
Yeah, but which way do you want it? Because last season people were moaning the midfielders were waving the white flag. You got somebody who's going down with a fight. All right, gets booking a lot, but you would rather have that than the midfielders that are rolling over.
I think it's the totting up, Marcus, that will be a challenge, because at this rate he will be 3 games suspended by end of September.
If not before, yeah.
Which is pretty good going for a professional footballer. Even Jay Matete wasn't quite that vehement of collecting yellows.
He had 17, was it, last season? And I think he's on course to beat that.
Yeah, well, at the moment he's a card a game, so he's on for 46 minus suspension, and he wants to do those maths. But I think that the midfield actually, Boateng in particular today was brilliant at rescuing the ball back and then getting us going again in midfield. And actually, he put a sliding tackle in the second half when he played centre half, which was absolutely first class. And I thought, wow, the boy can actually defend as well. Evening, Paul. Paul Beddy's just joined us. So I thought the midfield played really well, and I think that gave us that sort of fighting chance. If you look at sort of from Boateng up the pitch, Pepper I thought was reasonably effective, but he's had a lot of huffs and puffs, but never blew a house down. And Watt's pretty much the same. But if you looked at that offensive middle third, and I think I put it on Twitter earlier, in between the 2 boxes, I think we're very good. In our own box, we're woeful, and in the opposition box, we're adequate.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that.
The midfield 5, if you like, if you're going to split this up. So Mumba, Watts, Amici, Abraham, and Boateng as a unit, I think are doing very well in this division and this league. And I think they're we're winning more balls and second balls, and we're winning balls further up the pitch, Miron-esque, than we probably have ever done it with the midfield. If you compare JB and Randall to Ibrahim and Boateng, I know it's potato because it's different leagues, but our midfield, Marcus, much more effective this year than last. Would you agree?
Yeah, but some of the players last season didn't act like they wanted to play, didn't act like they want to be here. The midfield just completely rolled over a lot of the games. But we did prove last season with like Maxi and Katic, that's the players we've missed the most. If we can get a couple of centre backs in, we win more games than we'd lose.
I agree with that.
Because the midfield is pretty good, our attack's pretty good, especially with our centre up front. All we're really lacking. All right, Hammond hasn't played many games, but it should gain a bit more experience. But to be honest with you, we're just waiting for Hazard to come back.
Yeah, no, I agree with all that. But we've got key players, haven't we? McKenzie at left back looks like he's a proper player, but there's been lots of Aberdeen fans going, "What are you doing? What are you doing with McKenzie? He's not in. This is ridiculous. So I can't even see him in the squad." They obviously don't realise he's taken a knock and he's injured. So he'll come back. Edwards will come back to add a bit of stability and a bit of mentality shift. Obviously, the Pleguezuelo is going to be out now, we believe, until early next year, which will be a big miss.
One thing I don't get, how is Paulson captain?
Well,
if that's somebody leading by example,
I
God,
can see why he's done that, because actually last year in a 3 he was a really good communicator, right? Sitting up at the grandstand, you can hear a lot of it because he obviously travels up. He's a very good organiser and communicator of a defence in a back 3. So and he's also very vocal. And I just remember a few key points last year, like when Hardy was going through that tough time and he got that one bundled in of his arse or whatever it was at Sunderland. He pulled everyone in and went, Ryan Hardy, he's back and all that. So I actually think, his empathy, his man management and all that, I think is very good. It's just brain farts all the time.
I don't think we've seen enough of that this season. Last season, when he was captain, we saw a lot of, we heard a lot.
He wasn't captain last year. I think that's the thing, is he had time to think about doing other stuff. Now he's skipper. He's become less vocal.
Yeah, I think once or twice when players have gone off, he's been handed the armband. Not so much at the start of games, but he was vocal a lot last season. This season, maybe because he knows his own personal form's been pretty poor, he hasn't shown that kind of leadership and quality that he did when he back end of last season when he was quite decent under Muslich, and he was vocal. But we've seen none of that. I think that's purely down to our start and his personal form, to be honest. But we haven't got many leaders in that team. I mean, who else, if you don't give it to Poulsen, who else would you give it to?
Weirdo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the obvious one, because he was captain at Fleetwood, but obviously he's had a difficult start to his Argyle career. So, he probably would be the other one, or even Boateng. I thought he's been pretty good.
I think Boateng would be a lead by example rather than words. I don't disagree with that either. So midfield I thought was pretty strong. I thought we probably outplayed them in midfield today with those two. And then the front five, I think we had too good, too bad, really, to call them a match of the day phrase. Amici was outstanding. Mumba I thought was back to somewhere near his best. Didn't really get a clear chance to strike on goal, but was very menacing down the left-hand side. And actually, I thought him and Saranola linked really well too with Ibrahim at times. So I think that was an issue. Pepper was reasonably effective, but had no real clear-cut chances. But we were talking, weren't we, off air about this? When you're playing against Sonny Bradley, you don't really want to get into an arm wrestle if you can help it, because that's what he wants. You want someone who's quick, agile, can run off his shoulder, because he's a Poulsen-esque in terms of cart horse. No speed, So, but I thought from what he did in playing his game, I thought he was pretty effective. And Watts today seemed a little bit off the pace, or was that just me?
I don't think it was. He had his most influential game. I think he was up to his usual antics, wasn't he, with opposition players, pulling them and pushing them and getting in their faces and stuff. I don't think he had an effective game as he has obviously on Tuesday when he came on against Barnsley. He was really good, but I think just the way the game petered out, it wasn't really a game for him, to be honest. And when he went off, that's when we started to get control. So
I agree. Nicky Ward's just jumped in. Hi, Nicky. Good evening. Platson for the armband. So
when he's fit, that's not a bad shout.
Surely he's got the experience. I agree. Probably our best passer of a ball in offensive areas as well. And I thought he had a really good game actually.
We haven't actually spoke about him yet, and I think he was a massive miss today, because I think he was really effective against QPR as well. Let's hope his injury's not too bad, because I think he's going to be a key part.
On Thursday, but we should know probably more by early next week. Probably pre-Tuesday night when they chat to the press, they'll probably ask him about that. Should get some kind of answer. Hopefully, it's a matter of weeks or days, not months. But who knows? Andy B. So there's a chat around Tegan Finn, who I thought came on and played excellently, and actually having Amici and Finn both on the same park, and we'll come on to that in a minute, was really, really good. In fairness, I thought having two of your best players in the park, and Amici at times was like playing behind the. It was like watching Pele on Escape to Victory. It was like
he kept dropping back in the back four, didn't he, to get the ball?
Yeah, literally, it was like Pele off the Escape to Victory, take the ball off Stallone out of his hands and run up the whole pitch. It was fantastic to watch. But he must have covered some mileage today. That's what I'm going to say, because he was everywhere and he took his goal brilliantly. I don't think anyone's scoring off that angle, but it was. I think the whip at the pace of the ball just beat the keeper on his near post.
Brilliant.
He was menacing. I thought first half he was a little bit hit and miss. Tried to take on too many. I don't think.
I think he was cutting in a lot more. Sometimes I prefer to see him maybe take someone on a bit and then bring it in closer to goal, but he seemed to cut in quite early.
quite early, a bit Whittaker-esque, get it straight away. Yeah, and also I think
sometimes he plays a bit like Sissoko, doesn't he?
Yeah, but that was all fart, no shite, wasn't it? That was just like 75 step overs to then pass it backwards
and get nowhere fast.
Yeah, beat your same first man and your second man 4 times and then pass it backwards, which is, well, I'm sure that Bolton will appreciate that in a few weeks' time. Just sign for them on loan. But I thought first off, Amici was a little less effective because he, with Peppel liking to sort of be the front man and get above his marker and get balls in from wide, there was none of that. I don't remember Peppel having a serious chance on goal coming from across from the right. Or from the left for that matter. But when he moved inside second half and the game broke up, I thought Amici was class. And having 2 threats on the pitch of him and Teague and Finn, and Bally actually, I think those 3 cause a lot of damage. I was worried about his defensive work, Amici, but actually I thought he did that pretty well too. So if you look, we'll look at the team for Tuesday in a bit, and we can hint there that we might have picked all 3. But we'll see. Paul Bailey, every player interview I've seen now, the players seem very low. Need to forget what's happened and move on and be positive. Players can't move into games deflated. Hopefully TC can raise their spirits. I think, yeah, I agree. But Paul, can you imagine them going on to Argyle TV afterwards and Sorinola's like swigging a can of special brew going, it's all right, guys, isn't it? We'll get a pizza on the way home, forget all about it, and we'll be right for Tuesday night. It would be anarchy. So I think there's a little bit of read in the room there as well.
I think I'd prefer to see a player being pissed off than being happy after a defeat. Yeah. So at least we can see that the players are down and they're feeling hurt after a defeat, and hopefully that will give them a kick up the arse to improve results. Yeah,
I agree with that. But for a man who's played with Roy Keane for a number of years, can you just imagine them walking off the pitch, smiling, swapping shirts? Yeah. I think it'd be absolute anarchy. So that is the truth. Well, let's pick on to the next slide. We'll pick up now formations. So second half or half time, I think none of us were unhappy with the 2 changes that were made around, certainly on our pod. Having looked at the comments at half time, so Brendan Galloway came on at left centre back for the estranged Victor Paulson. Which I think nobody was shocked about, really. I think, Carl, you asked me, did he have a knock? And it's like, that was 100% he was hooked.
No, I think it was Lee Makel or the Argyle TV presenter that said about a knock. I think they were just saying that as rather than being hooked. Yeah,
I agree. So Brendan came on there, and the other substitution was Caleb Roberts, came on for Bradley Ibrahim, who was the walking red card, I think, with this referee who was handing them out like ticker tape at a wedding convention. We'll have a stop for ref watch in a minute, because I think that deserves a lot. Oh, environmentalist is happy. We'll come on to that in a second too. There was a red card definitely went back in for Bradley Ibrahim as well, and we don't need 2 out. So that was the starting lineup for the second half. And then we went to absolute ratchet for about 15 minutes, I think, from their goals up to about 60 minutes from half time. And then we decided to play again. Is it 9 yellows and 1 red from Just Jana? Wow.
That's impressive.
That is pretty impressive.
That must be a new EFL League One record, surely.
You know what? Let's press pause now, right? And let's just have a little ref watch. So I don't think he's fit enough, because he wasn't getting around the park quick enough, right? He reminded me of like a 1990s sort of bygone era ref, when they used to say John Smith from, Ashby de la Zouche, and he was a banker by day and all that nonsense. Not fit enough.
He must have been in his 60s, surely.
He looked
not close.
Yeah, he looked old. He outperformed Gavin Ward of being a man who can lose a game of football in terms of the control of it.
That takes some doing to do one over Gavin Ward, and he's atrocious.
Yeah, no, he does. It does. But I think this new chap is up there now with my one to watch. I was upset with that he bottled the first red card. which was the double booking for I can't remember which player it was, but someone who's on FOTMob can have a look, or one of the guys listening in can tell me. So he bottled that second challenge, which would have given them a red. The Weirdo first penalty I thought was soft. He's got his hands above his head. That's because he's falling down. What's he meant to do? Keep his hands by his side. It was a natural reaction. He didn't deliberately handle the ball by any stretch, in my opinion. The Weirdo penalty at the other end, there's contact. He goes over. The worst, it's a natural football collision, or whatever that means these days. The best, it's a penalty for Argyle, and we go 3-3, as long as Patterson didn't take it, although he wasn't on the pitch. I'm assuming Osani would have put that away, and he's got bouncing in confidence at the minute anyway. And then to send him off after not giving a penalty, for me, was just atrocious. And then after that, he was literally just, I don't think the card spent more than 5 seconds in his top pocket. It was absolutely horrific. He was booking left, right and centre. For what? I don't know.
I don't think it was a dive, and I don't really think it was a free kick. It was kind of two players coming together. I don't think they made much of a meal out of it until, Weirdo put his arms up and they thought, oh, maybe he's tried to dive. But yeah. I didn't see much in the challenge at all, to be honest. It certainly wasn't a sending off offence. No, far from it.
No, I don't think. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if in the press conference TC was asked about some of the decisions, but he's already on a yellow himself, because he was another one who got one waved at him for having a chat with the fourth, I think, which is his second yellow of the year as well. By the way, now he's got 2 in 3, and Ibrahim's got 3 in 3. So can you imagine that?
But there's never any repercussions for the referee, is there? They can do what they want and get away with what they want.
No, but I'd love to be a fly on the wall in TC's office on Monday morning when he goes, "Bradley, have a seat." Oh, what's up, Gaffer? Yeah, I just want to talk to you about your yellow card. Shite. Hang on, Gaffer, you got 2 out of 3. I got 3 out of 3. What's going on here?
Yeah, that is true. You can go into your players about discipline when you're getting yellows yourself.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I don't think he'll get chatted for that one, if I'll be honest. But yeah, so just back to ref, I thought he was horrific for both sides, I have to say. But I thought he was definitely bottled all the big decisions in the game. Full stop. There you go. I've got it out. I'm going to ring Joe Bell tomorrow, because he's a ref watcher, and we'll have a good moment together over a pint probably. But there we are. Okay, so next slide is continues. So match stats. Those who can't see that, I'll read them to you. So first half stats: possession 36 to Lincoln, 64 to Argyle. XG 0.36 and 0.73. 2 shots on target to their 4. 1 big chance to our 0. 186 passes with 81% completion rate, and they had 80 passes at 63%, which is interesting. Yeah, I didn't see, the challenge. We were 1-0 down. I actually went in at half time. I'll let people into a little secret. I went on to Sky Bet at half time, and we were 9-1, and I went, whoa, and I indulged. Only 20 English pounds, but I indulged. So when you bet on Argyle at 9-1 and you put £20 on, guess what happens? You lose £20. And
you put the curse on us.
I don't know, mate.
We would have won otherwise.
I just thought, you know what? We're not going to have another defensive frailty.
Yeah, it's Gal's fault.
Maybe it is my fault. Maybe I need to write a letter to the club later and apologise. But I just thought we can't have more defensive frailties like that again. I think we've got some good, Teagan on the bench, etc. I thought we were going to be good enough to beat this lot. And then about 60 minutes in, I was absolutely laughing to myself, going, that couldn't have been a better bet if I'd tried. But there we are. It is what it is. Zoo Corner.
Evening, Zoo Corner.
Yeah, we are going through the first and second half stats as we speak. You've missed all the good stuff, mate. So, make yourself a cup of tea. You might be in the door, because I saw on Twitter earlier saying you left at half time. If you did, you've missed a few goals, 4 of them to be precise. But there we are. Second half stats are pretty much the same. 66% possession against 34. So there or thereabouts. 8 shots on target for us, 7 for them. 2 on target, 2 goals, 4 on target for them. 4 very good saves, actually, I think, from Ashby de la Zouche. So I have to tip the hat in his general direction. 186 passes, again, at 76% pass accuracy. We had 4 corners to their 1. We won't go on. I thought just looking at that diagram will show you on the right-hand side, those who are watching, how tight Xavier Amichi's goal was. He's pretty much on the touchline, and to score with his left foot from there is a pretty mean feat. Don't mind telling anybody. So that's that. Let's move on. Go. So I've mapped this out now because I keep getting caught. So as the game build a new little lineup. On 56 minutes, further changes. So Owen Asani came on for Bim Peppel, and Tegan Finn came on for Caleb Watts, and then Amici then played the quarterback role, which I thought he did very well. Chaps from here, it started to get apart from Tegan Finn losing the ball in our half and then unfortunately conceding. I actually thought we were much better. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think we were a lot better when Aseni came on and Tegan Finn. I think Tegan Finn's a massive talent and he deserves to start in the next game. If he's, I don't care if he's 17, 16, 15, 14. If he's good enough, he should be playing. And I think I like what I saw from Amici as the number 10. So I think we don't have that worry now so much about do we go for Finn or do we go for Amici. I think throw them both in. I think they work really good as a combination on that side. So yeah, I think Finn, Aseni, definitely to start on Tuesday. I think Aseni is ahead of Peppel, I would say now, especially if we're not playing 4-4-2, which I don't think we're going to, unless Tom decides to change formations. But I think Aseni is our number 9. Maybe give him a new number if he can't sign another striker.
I tweeted that earlier.
You did? I thought I'd get that in there.
Yeah. I was being very facetious, but
why not? Why not? I know he's a diamond in the rough, and he's one for the future, and that one that wants to develop by Tom. But I think he's obviously got an eye for goal. He's got 3 goals now. Give the guy a start next Tuesday. I think he deserves it.
Whether Tom Cleverley's got the nerve, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Because what's it to lose? What's it to lose, Marcus?
There isn't.
Exactly, but I know that. But he had this opportunity yesterday, but he didn't use it. After against QPR played so brilliantly, it's whether he'll play the Tegan Finns. I question whether he'll use that ball.
I don't think so. I think he picked the team today knowing they had 2 lumpy centre halves and thought Pepper would deal with them better than Asani. But actually, I thought Asani ran off the shoulder really well. He picks the team, but I don't think it's Bottle saying, "Oh, he haven't picked Asani because of backlash or because of whatever." I don't know how Leighton Orient are setting up these days, but we'll have to do a prep on Monday. But I would say, any striker in any standard, if you've got 3 and 2 and you've got confidence, you've got to play, haven't you? So,
yeah.
So I thought apart from the blip that will move on from Tegan losing the ball and us conceding a goal, which I believe was the 3rd one, I actually thought we played much better in this formation. Amici was a threat, and they knew Finn was a threat and Ballymum was a threat, and you can't double mark all 3 of them.
No.
My worry was the defensive actions, as I said a little bit earlier on Amici, but actually I thought he did very well there too. And when you had Roberts who came on, and actually he needs a mention, because I thought Caleb Roberts came on and didn't see much of a change, if any.
No.
If not, he was better than Ibrahim.
I don't think he disgraced himself. He put in a good shift and looked solid, like a seasoned professional, really. I think he deserves a lot more game time, which is going to be a bit more difficult when, maybe he'll get his chance if Ibrahim gets 50 yellows.
Not that difficult if Ibrahim keeps getting yellow cards.
Exactly.
Because he'll sort up very quickly.
It's not a question of if, it's when, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So that was 56 minutes. And then if you flick on again, the team that finished. So on 82 minutes, Eamon Benarous came on for Max Aronola. Didn't think he had much to do, but what he did do, I thought he did pretty well. A couple of overhit crosses, I would say. But when you're trying to get into a game, when you're trying to push forward and get an equaliser is always challenging. But good to see he moved well, and that's the team that finished up. That being plus V, what's that? Being plus V, one new player can make a difference. I'll reference Diagora. Is that you say that? Diagora? Diagoraga, sorry. Yeah. 2-3 players even better. One second back. Oh God, who's that?
Yeah, sure.
Abraham and me have gone 50-50 on my bet for yellow cards. Zoo corners are literally. Zoo, what you need to do now, mate, is put it all into stocks and go Unilever, right? Free money. I'm not even an IFA. I'm going to just tell you to do what I've done. All those winnings on Unilever is what works. So that was the final. I think the Wiradoo red card completely knocked the stuffing out of us, because actually, if we get the pen and equalise, I think we go on and win.
Oh yeah, definitely.
On the field.
Definitely.
B, when we didn't get the pen, if even it was just a free kick, I think we go on and equalise. But that just knocked the stuffing out of us. I think that's red card, and we go from there. I've just seen I'm buying Hallett out with my winnings. Well, mate, if you're buying Hallett out with your winnings, then that's substantial. So well done with that, Mr. Chairman. We'll look forward to your first chairman's chat at Zoo Corner. Are you going to do it from under the big TV in the corner at Zoo Corner? Do it from the Argyle Lounge. You'll have to let us know that one. Oh, stop putting character limits on. Well, I don't make the rules, really. I just follow them, mate. So sorry about that. You have to speak to the crazy pilgrim when he's back sunning himself from the Bahamas. Not my problem. I love my pay grade, that son. I'm just, as I said on Thursday night, I'm just a supply teacher trying to teach the curriculum. Move on. Next slide, please, on that note. Full game stats. So just to highlight, we had 65% possession. I think we still had decent possession, actually, when we were down to 10 men, which is good. What I hate is seeing teams that play against 10 men run the ball into the corner. That wound me up a little bit, but there we are. XG 1.3, and we got 2 goals, which means we were better than our XG. 15 shots on goal, 4 on target, which, again, says all, doesn't it, about our attacking prowess, what we've just discussed. I wish there was an XG saying how shit and how many brain farts we had in defence. That would be nice.
That would be high nearly every game.
It would, yeah, absolutely.
XG
9 shots inside the box. And Amici rated 9.1 and star player on FOTMob, which I thought was fantastic. Any thoughts on the full-time game stats, boys? Anything that stands out for you?
The 15 shots, I suppose. Again, showing that we're obviously good on the front foot. We're getting some shots away, 4 on target, not bad at all. 9 shots inside the box. Like I said, I don't think we've got any worries about forward play at the moment. Yeah, it'd be great if we had a decent striker up front, but I think Arseni's more than capable. I generally think we need to worry so much now going forward. Obviously, we'll bring in a striker, I hope, before the end of the window, but we really need to go our asses in gear with our defensive work. And I think we'll be absolutely fine, because we're creating a lot of chances at the moment.
Yeah, I know there was a bedwetting epidemic between the hours of 5 and 7 o'clock, and I was trying to write a deck for this at the same time, so it didn't fill my mind with anything positive.
I think it was justified, though. I think it was.
No, it was
without taking away what we've been saying about our attacking play, but defensively we are absolutely horrid.
Yeah, look, I'm not disagreeing with that. For 1 minute, I'm not. And before I move on, actually, just train of thought, Sean, I didn't get home from my trip away this week until Friday. Can you message the Twitter X handle of the Block 9? Please tell me you're going Tuesday night. I'll bring it with me on Tuesday. I'll meet you before the game. We'll even try and arrange a little photy, because I didn't get there, so my fault. That's, by the way, those who didn't know, it was the Twitter competition shirt, which is still here. So I've not pawned it. I've not sent it on eBay. It's still here. I just wasn't here to deliver it, and I was going to. So if you're there on Tuesday night, Sean, let me know. I'll bring it with, and you can take it off me then. So yeah, just back to what was I talking about? Can't remember now.
About the meltdown on X.
Oh yeah, the
fans,
meltdown on X. Yeah. So I get it, and I know like a lot of people. We were talking pre going on air around. Is Marcus? Are you the new number 9? You've just been asked.
I'm trying to get my arrow right. Got my cameras reversed.
Down. Marcus, are you the new number 9? Can you confirm or deny?
What's that?
Are you the new number 9? Zoo Corner's just asked.
Yeah,
You're not.
I am.
You are.
I am.
You heard it
But
here.
trouble is, I'll get red cards more aggressive than ever am. So it's no problem.
Yeah.
If you were signing as number 9, right, just before going out, but just before you hear the Semper Fidelis song, if I was TC, I'd stand in the tunnel, right, and I'd whisper in your ear, infrastructure. Right?
To be honest with you,
be class.
there probably been 2 number 9s, because if I was a number 9, and for that clear penalty, I would have ended up nutting the ref.
I'd pay to see that. I know I do handsomely, but I would pay to see that genuinely. You see Marcus go boom and knocking the especially actually if you did like a chest headbutt, like
Zinedine Zidane,
like Zidane in the World Cup. Yeah, that'd be even better.
That was brilliant. That was.
Yeah. So back to Twitter meltdowns. I can see it. I think there's been loads of chat earlier around. We've got no finance director, and we had a chat about it pre going on air. Who's helping with the finance decisions on the recruitment market? And I think we're justified to have that conversation. And hopefully the club can let us know. Maybe it's a Chris Errington conversation. Someone maybe can ask him to ask at the next press conference. That would be useful. Is that impeding? I know you guys spoke to him, didn't you, at the fans forum?
Mm-hmm.
Mike, if you're listening, or Carl, let's try and get Mr. Errington to make that conversation, because it can't be helping, even if it's not hindering. Surely, if you've got no head of finance and you're working out financial implications of players and budgets,
we've got so many questions that need answering, and you can't pile all of that on Tom Cleverley in press conferences, because he's not really going to know himself what's going on with finance.
Another thing, you've gone about getting a financial and all that lot. Parkinson's resignation won't go amiss either.
No.
Don't know back, Marcus. Just say it how it is, mate.
Well, to be honest with you, he's a twat. He's useless, and he ought to go back to Liverpool.
I knew there's a reason why we missed Marcus.
Yeah. For a second then, I just thought Sam Down had just popped in. But Sam, if you're listening. I would say to counter that, as I've always done, I think he's steered the ship pretty well up to this point. However, the last 12 months, I think we've had
18 months, I'd say. 18
months. So we've had some interesting conversations around head coaches, although I wouldn't put all that in Andy Parkinson's particular bathtub, because he's had a team around him that have helped make the decision, including the chairman. But we've hired a head of commercial that's lasted 12 months and left. And you don't have to be now Hercule Poirot to work out that we've got less sponsors this year than we did last. Some of that will be around relegation. Some of that will be around the way that some of those sponsors were treated. So that's going to be a loss of revenue. So that's one thing. I don't think we've had a message from the club to say that's been replaced. We've had a head of finance go to Bolton to be CEO, which is a big step for David, and we wish him all the best. But we've still had no one replace that role yet either. The number 2 in the commercial team is now head of commercial, Mr. Kimberley, if you're listening, good evening, at Exeter, who seems to be doing a very good job. So there seems to be a lot of outs and not a lot of ins.
We just seem to be painfully slow at every single appointment, whether that's on the pitch or off the pitch. We just seem to be miles and miles behind everything. Surely we had someone in mind. Well, we did have someone in mind when David Ray left, and clearly that hasn't happened, has it?
No. Well, there was an impending announcement which never came. So I don't know whether the person changed their mind or there was I don't know. But to be candid, it ain't helping. And poor Tom is standing in front of the camera saying it's a well-run club and everything's hunky dory, and and it can't be true. It just can't be true. I don't think Tom needs to get himself too worried about what Tom Randall and Foxy and the missing finance director / Andy Parkinson are doing around the financial implications of transfers. He needs to get involved in the front end of it. I think of talking to potential players and talking about the plan and how he wants to play and all that good stuff. That's absolutely fine. But I don't think it's fair to land any questions on him, as you rightly say, on a press conference to say what's going on with the FD. I think it needs to be
it's out of his pay grade, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
It's not fair.
It's an Andy Parkinson piece, and I think we talked long and hard on Thursday night about communication within the club, and I think it needs to be a bit better. Well, a lot better, if I'll be honest. This is our goal. We're too slow to react to everything. Says you're drinking, buddy, Marcus.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Even the Block 9 podcast is too slow to bring Marcus back. It's taken bloody months. There we go. We can't have it all. Nicky Ward says, to be honest, they all need to keep their mouths shut and stop saying this will happen and that will happen, winding fans up more.
Yeah, but Tom Cleverley's been put on the spot, and it's not really his job because Parkinson has gone AWOL. No one knows where he is, and it's all left to Cleverley.
Parkinson's not gone AWOL. Parkinson's been at every home game.
He ain't doing that, though, is he?
Well, but he's there. He's not gone AWOL. He's not like disappeared off to Mike.
Yeah, I don't mean AWOL's an AWOL. I mean AWOL was in taking money under false pretenses because he ain't doing his job, is he?
Missing in action is the phrase you're looking for, Marcus. MIA. Well, we don't know, but look, he's never been a front foot. Go and talk to the media, own the sort of talk to the fans, apart from through written communication in the programme and stuff, which actually, when you read them, they're pretty good. But he's never been a talker, is he? He doesn't like the limelight.
No.
Unlike some CEOs, he's more of a strategic behind the scenes guy. But I think time is now to stand up because I think fans are getting agitated. I think players are getting agitated. I think Tom Cleverley's definitely getting agitated, and somebody needs to just say this is going on or nothing's going on. But I'm telling you, there's nothing going on. I think even if there was that, it would stop the speculation and the rumour and all the other bits that are going with it, which is a real challenge, to be candid.
Yeah, but things are not going right when Andy's getting agitated. Yeah. Although, to be fair, he gets from talking to Mike, he gets agitated over a ball not going out for a corner on a Saturday. So I'd take that with a pinch of salt, frankly. But I do get your point. I think there's a lot of people whose patience are wearing thin, mainly through lack of action. But then when there is lack of action, that's fine. But if the right person's coming out and telling people why that's not happening and not being lumped with the head coach who is hopefully trying to talk about tactics and team availability and injuries for a Saturday, then that's where I think the challenge becomes, because you're then not having the right person, whether it be Tom Fox, whether it be Tom Randall, whether it be Foxy, whether it be Andy Parkinson, who are coming out and making these statements or having the chit chat with Charlie Price or whatever they're going to do and how they're going to play it, or Rob McNichol, whoever it's going to be. There hasn't been any of that, and therefore the only portal, the only crack in the door with any light coming out of it, unfortunately, is Tom Cleverley. So he's the one who's burdened with them all on a Thursday lunchtime at a press conference, which is frustrating. But there we go. So we move on. Next slide, please. Post-match reaction. Matty Saranola. Anyone watched it who's got Argyle TV? The full interview. I have watched it twice. Yeah. And it's on Cleverley one. So disappointed, frustrated, embarrassing, angry, all of the emotions you'd expect. We know we need to be better, and I'm disappointed we can't give those fans something to cheer about. We need to get our first win ASAP. Was pretty much what he said. I'm paraphrasing slightly because I didn't want to put the whole interview on, but he did look, I think Marcus said earlier, he did look dejected. Mm-hmm. But again, coming out with broad smiles and cracking a can would probably not be the best way of looking at this either. But they've got a long coach ride home tonight, and they're going to get home probably 11 o'clock, something like that, after the game, maybe midnight, and they're going to be hurting all the way back, aren't they? Let's be candid.
Andy B, TC just needs to say, we know the positions we need to fill. Signing the players is down to others. I'll concentrate on the football. Which actually, Andy, I think is pretty much what he said on Thursday in the press conference.
That's what you can say, isn't it?
I've got 3 games to prepare in a week. Therefore, unfortunately, recruitment's down to others. I've got enough on my plate. Leave me alone. I think he was, that was paraphrasing again, but I think that was pretty much the cut and thrust of what he said to Chris Errington on Thursday. Just Jana says, Saranola should wear the armbands. He was hurting tonight, so he was hurting like a captain. I think next weekend for Blackpool, I think Joe Edwards will be fit, wouldn't he? That'd be quite fitting.
He is, yeah.
He should be, but whether they'll thrust him straight back in or not, I don't know. I think it's needs must at this point.
Even on I don't know about his playing ability, but even in being in the squad, I think it just lifts the whole side, doesn't it? And we saw that when he came back from injury in the relegation scrap last year. Next slide. Cleverley's post-match presser and the key points. So again, I've listened to this 4 times while I was typing. A game I thought was there to be won. I thought we all thought it was a game to be won before the game. Looking at our league positions in a minute and our predicted scores, you'll see that. We're waiting for the opposition to strike the first blow and only start playing when we think the game's done. That's the biggest thing for me. Is we do feel like we're like, oh well, let's not put these guys to bed. Let's wait to go 1 down or 2 down, and then we'll start playing. It was very Miron-esque last year. Actually, there was a couple of times where we actually started playing football when the game mentally was gone. I think that has been a hangover from the players that have stayed from last year into this. Thoughts on that before I move on?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of an odd one. Like even Plymouth Live put the headline up earlier about we're scared of losing, which doesn't really make sense. I think we're scared of winning more than anything at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely the right thing.
But and like Cleverley said in post match about the mentality is just completely shot at the moment, especially defence wise. They're just not believing in themselves. Obviously, we got relegated with a massive 88 goals conceded, and I think that's still a hangover from last season because it's still the same back line near enough, and that's probably why we're still struggling. We need some new blood. We need some new faces. We need some new mentalities in that back 4 to be better, because ones that
which is exactly what Katic and Maxi.
And I think that's why we saw some players look better when Maxi and Katic were here, because obviously they were brilliant centre backs, and that's what we're seriously lacking at the moment. I think we'll see a mentality change, probably from even the goalkeeper. I think the goalkeeper's been obviously he's done a few mistakes already, but I think if he had a more settled back 4, someone a bit better in there, then he might lift his confidence as well overall. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I think we're only going to be 3 games away from seeing Hazard from what said.
And so hopefully we might be seeing him on a pod soon. Connor Hazard.
When's Mackenzie back?
Same time.
Same time, end of the month.
Cardiff, potentially.
That'd be like 2 new signings.
Yeah.
It will, yeah, absolutely. So we're giving ourselves mountains to climb. We're suffering a lot at the minute. Well, yeah, you're right there. Mr. Magoo, good evening. Superblock, that's a beer. Should wrap you up in cotton wool. Feel sorry for TC having to deal with most of this current team. #awful. Andrews Cipriano, good evening. You're going down. You're not a good thought. You're not good. Thanks, Andrews.
Thank you.
It's very kind for your lovely words. You want to tell us who you support? As long as you're not an Exeter fan, you can stay.
That's another conversation.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, tell us who you are. Tell us where you come from. Who's your daddy and what does he do? To use a Schwarzenegger. You're the worst team I've ever seen. No, we're not. Don't be daft.
I don't think we'll go that far. No.
Maybe he's hiding out his mum's basement. Who knows? Maybe it's Bradders in disguise.
It could be.
Where is Dave tonight, actually? Oh yeah, he's definitely hiding out his mum's basement because he's now saying you're so bad. Okay, thanks for that. Move on. I had my first keyboard once. Anyway, there we are. Asked about the positives. The goal gave us something for the fans to cheer about, but I'm not masking over the issues. And we have some significant issues at the moment that we need to work hard to resolve. I quite like that, because he could have said, "Oh yeah, we come into the game and da-da-da." No, he didn't. He didn't sugarcoat it, did he? Bless his cotton wool socks. Acceptance of where we are. Difficult to bounce back up. We have to make it happen. Only feeling the freedom to play when we feel the game is lost. Again, back to that mentality issue. So, what else can be done from here? Surely the recruitment and football operations team must now work to execute, and the owners to make incomings happen in the next few days. I think I put on Twitter earlier, we must sign 1 or 2 centre backs this week.
Has to be 2, doesn't it? Has to be 2 centre backs.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see Roberts and Welsh come in. Who knows?
Maybe, but even if you've got Such and another at the minute, that would be a stopgap until.
Yeah, I think Galloway's still more than capable as long as he stays fit.
Galloway looked actually good when he came on. So yeah. If you had 2 fresh blood in there that was going to do what Maxi and Katic did, then it would. We said before the game, wouldn't it? I think we'd be in the top 4 if we had Maxi and Katic, because we've conceded so many goals just by absolute piss poor defending, quite frankly. Mr. Magoo, do you fear the worst for the derby in October going on current form?
Ooh,
no.
I wouldn't worry about October just yet. That's a little while away. Yeah.
That's A, it's a long way away. B, we beat them behind closed doors in a 1-0 game pre-season, and I don't think we had half the side then. So no, I'll never fear the scum, mate. Never fear the scum. That's how. Even if we're still bottom, never fear the scum. That's what it is.
Even if we're still bottom, yeah.
Even if we're still bottom, we'll never fear the scum. We'll beat the scum. That's not a problem. Although it is up there, isn't it? I think we're back here in April or something like that.
Yeah, back end of the season. Long or bloody wait.
Yeah. So yeah, I think 2 centre backs is a must. And the question I posed was, is that more important than a 9? And I think we've already answered that question earlier with an earlier conversation, which was yes, we must. So
do you think there's going to be anything done before Tuesday? I think it's a bit of a short-term turnaround, isn't it, to get signings in on Monday?
Tuesday, they're not going to train, are they? Because there's going to be a recovery day Sunday. Yeah, that's going to be a challenge. And then you're going to have match day -1 on the grass shapes type stuff, or in the classroom Tuesday morning, and then it's match day. So match day -1 is Monday. So it's off tomorrow for recovery. Match day -1 Monday, bit of shape. Yeah, I mean, you could throw them in if they were constant professionals. I do remember Katic and Maxi both like going in the hotel lobby at the Crown Plaza on a Friday, and then putting the kit on the Saturday and improving us tenfold. So I think it can be done. It depends on the individual, doesn't it?
It's whether we move fast enough to get the players in. That's more my concern. Not so much the players stepping straight in after they signed. It's more us moving at a snail's pace to get them in.
Yeah. Well, I think if we do sign them, then yes.
Yeah.
They start possibly.
Yeah.
If they,
I just want us to get to Thursday's press conference without the usual, how the centre backs look and how the number 9 search going. I just want someone in before Thursday, because it's just getting boring, these press conferences now. And I just feel for Tom answering the same old bloody questions.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Okay, next slide. A bit like relief for us. So the predictions league table is none of us have got any points yet, so that just goes to show how.
Well, we got some points. No one's got the correct score.
No one's got the correct score.
No one's got the correct score line, right? Not many of us have got even a result right yet.
So all of us went for Argyle. I thought Herbie went for. No, he didn't, for Lincoln.
I think he said some ridiculous quote in the live lounge, isn't it? 5-4 or something, but he must have changed his mind.
Emma 2-2 is the closest. Mike 4-0 to Argyle. You can tell he's had a few sangrias, can't you?
Yeah.
It's gone on out.
I think the sun's got to his head.
3-1, which was interesting. So anyway, well, if you've got a few scores, right? Asani got some scores there. Amici got some scores there. So that was good.
I don't think there's any issues in predicting goal scorers. It's just obviously we're all going to predict the Leyton Orient win on Tuesday, and we'll fucking win, won't we?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's do that later. Next slide. Where do we go from here? Well,
to the pub.
Signings, leverage the loan market. I think we need to discuss that for 5 minutes. Is anyone buying this thing from Foxy, or the loan market's getting really hard? Or do you think we're just...
Has it though?
To be honest with you, it's looking like it, isn't it?
Yeah, everyone else seems to be getting loan signings.
We've never had issues before with getting loan and signings. We
were loan FC when we went up.
Exactly.
We were called every bloody week when we had a Zaz and...
Yeah, but it's looking like Fox is not interested in it for some reason.
Having been the loans manager at Huddersfield and the loans manager at...
But wasn't Welch and Roberts going to be loans?
Yes.
And Al Maddy.
No, I think that's a bid for Al Hamadi, but I don't think that's going to come off.
I got a feeling it was a loan to buy.
Okay. I thought it was a straight purchase. Because it says substantial bid.
Mm.
So substantial bid would indicate, surely by its nature, a permanent transfer. I think that's what Ipswich want, don't they? They don't want anyone to loan him. They want someone to buy him. So who knows? That might be released on Monday. It might all be like Bobby Ewing comes out the shower and it's all been a bad dream, and then we get back to normal. Maybe not.
Thinking.
So assemble a squad to be competitive is my last sort of tweet on there. And what's the wish list? 1-9, 2 centre backs, and a ball-winning midfielder. I think we need a bit more depth in midfield. Seems the wide areas are covered with, certainly with Teague and Finn stepping up. I don't think there's a problem there. Benarous can play wide left as well, and Amici can play both sides. So I think we're blessed with attacking wingers. If Ibrahim carries on in his way, we're going to be struggling for midfielders, I think, and 2 centre halves is a must, isn't it?
Massively.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I think we'll be absolutely fine once we get the cover in at the back. I like what I've seen so far from Cleverley. His tactics, his substitutions always seems to pay off as well. I don't think we've got issues with him changing the game from the bench if need be. Patterns of play, the press, the attacking talent that we do possess at the moment, even without a number 9, is very impressive. We just severely lacking at the back. We're just repeating ourselves over and over again, aren't we?
Yeah. Just like every press conference.
Yeah, we're doing exactly what Tom's doing in the presser. So until things change, we've got nothing else to talk about, have we?
It's not our decision to make. I'm just preparing for the next pod. There you go.
Exactly.
Move on. Excellent. Move on. So Leyton Orient. This is the block 9-11 as picked by me, but with some input from the 2 gentlemen at the bottom of the screen. So we all do agree, which is unusual. Stick with form. I did giggle when I typed that, considering we lost 3. But you know what I mean by it. So Galloway and Such centre-back roles. Wiradu would have been there if he wasn't suspended for getting fouled in the opposition box. Interesting. We won't go back there again. Matt Scott says we need a meathead at both ends of the pitch. I think we need a meathead 2 meatheads at the in front of our goalkeeper. But
we got Marcus up front. We just need that centre back.
Oh, we do. Yeah, we've got a meathead up front. He's going to play 7 minutes of each game before he can. But there we go. So the team, for those listening later, is Lucas Ashby, Hammond in goal, who I thought was much better today, I have to say. Eamon Benarous at left back, who plays full 90. Brendan Galloway and Cornell Such in the centre half roles. This is all predicated of us not having another signing, of course, and also Brendan Wiradu being suspended for 1 game. Matti Sarinola takes his position back at right back because Such moves in 1. Ibrahim, the walking yellow card, and Maliki Boateng, who I thought was excellent today, are the 2 holding midfielders. And then up top, we've gone 4. Teagan Finn on the right, Ballymumba on the left, Xavier Amici in the 10 role, so we've dropped Caleb Watts, and Owen Asani starts up front, or Aseni starts up top, having scored 3 in 2. Chaps, quick discussion on that.
Yeah, I'm not even going to suggest Zach Baker, surprisingly, because I think Luca deserved to keep his spot for Tuesday. Because I thought he was okay today. So yeah, as it is, I think that's the best we can put out at the moment. It's a shame to drop Caleb Watts, but I think we need Finn to start. He deserves a start, and we need Amici in that team as well. So unless there's a way of getting Watts maybe on the left and replacing Mumba potentially, I don't know if that's a potential thing that we could do, because as good as Mumba is, he hasn't had much goal involvement, has he, this season? Again, lack of end product is the only question mark with Bali Mumba. But then he offers defensive duties as well. That's also something to say.
He's a good harasser. I think that front four, if you want to put it as that way, each of those three players, if they were on the pitch on their own, the opposing head coach would say double or triple mark those individuals because they're their danger players, right?
Yeah.
So with Amici now getting back and actually winning the ball at midfield at the top end, if you've got three players, they can all of them. But if you do, you've got no attacking threat up top, so you're just playing a bank of six at the back. So for me, I think this would open up big sections of the pitch for three talented players who all know what the goal is, and also feeding a striker that's on real form, especially off the shoulder like he was today. I thought he was brilliant to take the way he took his goal.
Maybe that's the answer, like Marcus said. The best form of attack is defense. Sorry, the other way around.
Attack.
Yeah, maybe we should get rid of the whole back four, and when Asaka's fit, shove him in near the back. We'll have Joe Hatch in at centre back and just go out all out attack throughout the whole pitch. We might be okay.
Well, we played Lucas Ashby-Hammond up top for about.
Yeah, we could do that. He was a striker in his early days.
Yeah.
Why not?
I tell you, we joked on Thursday night about the Kevin Keegan form of football is you score 5, we'll score 6.
Yeah, maybe that's the answer.
Maybe that is the answer. Who knows? Because I don't think they could have done any worse than certain players in our defensive structure today. I think if we're going to dominate at home and beat sides, that's for me a good way of looking at it. And just going back to that philosophy and that mentality issue, if you've got 4 players there that do not give a flying fuck about anything, they'll take players on. They've got full of confidence. You know, Bally doesn't take a backward step. Amici oozes confidence, was great today. Finn takes people on, he doesn't care, does he? There's no ramifications. And Asani's bubbling and confident and knows what the goal is at the minute. Then that's the mentality that's going to get us to dominate teams at home, surely, rather than being a bit pussyfooting around and maybe we should, and then all of a sudden we're back in our haunches and we've conceded. Who knows? Steve Cooper, Mr. Manga we will piss our lots, no problem for us going to the war, guys. I don't understand what that means. If you can correct that, Steve, that'd be great. Maybe you had a couple of shandies on the way home. Or a couple more. So that's the team we've picked for Tuesday night. I'm going to fax that over in true Block 9 style at the height of technology to TC tomorrow morning, so we can plug that in for the Matchday -1 training for Monday afternoon, and then we can go and beat the boys on Tuesday night. PP, good evening. How are you? Looks like you might have just got back if you're just tuning in. Pilgrim Pete, don't know who PP is. Back
Is there anything else you would change with that lineup, Marcus, or do you pretty much agree with that?
I think on paper that's probably one of the most dangerous attacking 4 in League One. It's just but like I said earlier, best form of defence is attack. Go for it.
Yeah.
You know, you get two attacking wing backs. Two centre backs and push that. Go for it.
Attack.
Yeah,
right,
well, they can't defend. That's been proven. That's for sure. They can't defend for the life. So, you've got 2 really attacking fullbacks there as well. Belarus and Saranello who love to get forward and get to the byline and get crosses in. So, if you look, like someone said earlier on, if you haven't got the players, you have to adapt like a back 3. Switch things around a bit. Yeah, you got to do what you got. Players you've got, work with. Obviously, we ain't going to get no players coming in at the minute, so you got to work with what you can.
Yeah. Sorry, Steve Cooper's just sobered up. Sorry, we will piss you extra. Sorry, Gavin. There are no problem to extra. Yeah, the extra are going down. They can beat Mansfield today. Move on.
Good evening, Keith. How are we?
Keith, we are shit, and we know we are.
Nice bit of positivity to end the show with. Lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so just go back to the tactics board a second, just in my head. If Sorinola and Belarus push forward, actually having Boateng slide back in to create a back three and Ibrahim push forward, that's actually, I quite like that, because you have got the safety net of Boateng, who played centre back for 15 minutes tonight and this afternoon, did really, really well. Evening, Keith. Hope you are well and not too angry with the world on X. So that's the team we're going to fax over to TC later, and we'll go from there. On request, so our next instalment is Thursday at 8:30, which is our live lounge. We're going to do two things. One, we're going to obviously review Tuesday night, which would be similar-ish to this. But the other thing, I can't remember who it was. Someone asked me earlier. Might have been Zoo Corner. Someone said, "Can you put a racing model together of how the inner workings of the team?" Because Mr. Hallett was getting pelters about not signing players, and I kind of said, "Well, actually, this is the." I'm going to stop myself there because Ben Collins just put, "I've quite enjoyed the new Block 9 lineup."
Yeah, we don't need the crazy pilgrim. He can stay out in Spain or wherever he is.
No, Andy, no crazy pilgrim who's still sunning himself in the Bahamas. Thanks for that, Ben. Appreciate your comments as ever. Lovely to hear from you. So I'm going to put together a bit of a race model as I see it of like who does what and what decisions are made, because like in my head, Simon will, if someone's going to give people shit about lack of capital, that can sit at Simon's door, right? Because he's the man who's putting in the capital. Anything around decision making of player recruitment, manager recruitment, I think that sits with the exec, which sits with AP. Someone needs to explain, I think, this of how all this works, because Simon spends all but 90 days of his year in the United States. So you can't really be effective day to day. And he's told many times he's not an executive chairman, he's a non-executive chairman. So that means that there is an exec that exists that's headed up by the chief exec that's by very nature runs the club. So I think it was Zoo Corner, but I can't remember who it was. If you're listening in, let me know who you are, 'cause I can't remember. But I'll put together a few slides on that, on how I see it, of like the roles and responsibilities and the accountabilities and the informants and all that type of stuff, and on just some basic roles of day-to-day running of the football club, probably in a transfer window. So that's probably the most important thing. So that's that. Any final thoughts? Start with you, Marcus. Don't be rude. Try not to be rude.
I've been told not to swear, so I'll rather keep that one to myself.
Although to be fair, I did tell him that I don't have any beeps behind the scenes to keep beeping him, and it's been me and Gav that have been using the F-bomb quite a few times. So.
To be honest with you, seriously, I don't think the team is as bad as what's been portrayed.
Yeah,
what I've seen, I think, like most of us have said, I think the worst part is centre backs defence. I think with Hazard coming back, McKenzie coming back. Obviously, we haven't got the money as what it was portrayed. We got top 6 budget, but you just got to do what you got to work with. But I think Orseni's a good striker. I think the midfield is looking pretty good. I think we need an extra midfielder. Apart from that, it's all good.
Yeah. Okay. I think when we get the players coming back, because it's threadbare at the minute, I don't think we can put a full bench out today. But when the players we've got come back, they'll feel like new signings. I think if we had 3 or 4 additional quality bodies in the building, I don't think anyone would be moaning at the moment, would they?
No, I don't think so. I think we've got enough quality throughout the midfield and attack. Yeah, we're missing 1 or 2 up there, but I think we're more than capable of what we got.
I mean, you got all the fans moaning on X or whatever. But this week, if we had Welch, Roberts, and Al Maddy, they'll say what a load of geniuses. So you can't win either way. We're only about 3 or 4 players short.
It's fickle, the world of football, mate. As you know, if we won 3-1 today as well, then there would have been not even half the negativity on the. And I would have won the Predictor League, which has been even better. But there we go. And my bets. So there we are.
And your bets, yeah.
Carl, anything finally?
It was a shame. I think we were close. I think we were close to getting an equaliser, and we probably would have felt a bit better about ourselves tonight. But yeah, it looks bad. We're down the bottom. We've lost again, but I still think there's still a lot of positivity there in our play, and we're not boring to watch anymore. We're more exciting to watch. Obviously, Muesli ball we knew was long ball, depressing football to watch. But I think under Cleverley, we're starting to see what he wants from the team. Obviously, he can't change personnel at the moment, so we just have to go with what we got. And I'm sure once we get reinforcements in, we'll start picking up. Hopefully, Tuesday night, being at home, we can kickstart the season, and hopefully that will give the lads some confidence in the league to push on again on Saturday, and things will be looking a bit more rosier come 5 o'clock on Saturday night when we've got 2 home wins under our belt. But maybe I should lay off the JD now.
I'm just going to read out Keith's latest message from X. If we'd won 5-0, I'd have been happy. If I was banging Sydney Sweeney, I'd have been happier. Fair. If bits, I think he means buts and maybes, where are the transfer links? Hang on, we got a link in the week with some Fleetwood Town 38-year-old striker who's only got one leg. Come on. Pilgrim PT says, if I had 6 numbers, I would have won the lottery. My answer to that is, if my auntie had some dangly, she'd be my uncle.
God bless Ian Holloway.
God bless Ian Holloway. Yes, hollow words. So I think I'm going to wrap it up, chaps, because it's now we've been on hour and 40 minutes. Hour and
15-ish. Yeah.
Hour and 15 minutes, which is, let's be honest, plenty for a Saturday night. Let's all get to Home Park on Saturday. I'm just going to finish on this, right? I said this to you guys earlier. Some absolute cockwomble is the only way I can put it politely. On Facebook earlier said, "Oh, we need to take tennis balls to the game," and on 7 minutes, because Hallett's been at the club for 7 years, we need to throw the tennis balls on the pitch like Reading and all shout sack the board. Now, it's shit like that keeps my investment portfolio, mainly in Unilever, big products, soaring through the clouds, right? So thank you for that, anonymous participant 1869 or whatever the fuck you are. Go off down to JD Sports, buy your 6 tennis balls, and watch everyone laugh at you and kick you square in the nads, throw them in from the Mayflower Lower, where you sit on a Saturday, if you're even in the ground at all. So I'll just put that into context, leave everyone there. Marcus, it's been lovely to have you back, mate. I've missed your positivity and your absolute, silky smooth words when, a twat would have done. So thanks, mate, for being back. I've really missed you.
My pleasure.
The first of many, we hope, Marcus.
Yeah, absolutely, Marcus.
Yeah.
Mike's jealous because he hasn't had the chance to weave in and out of your witty tones all evening. But he will do soon. And Mike's back on Thursday, so I'll be handing back the rounds. Thank God for that.
So Mike's got his job back, is he?
Yeah. Well,
if we give it to him back,
he's got a review on Wednesday evening, and a very late fitness test on Thursday morning. If he fails the fitness test, it'll be me. If he passes the fitness test, I'll hand him back the captain's armband and I'll go and sit in the back.
Although what I might do, Gav, is I might just go and change the password so we can't log back in. And then we could just take over.
Oh dear. So
on that note,
I'm sure he'll pass the fitness test on Thursday morning. Carl, anything the last thing to say, or are you all done?
I'm actually back to work from my fractured finger, so I won't be available on Thursday. So I'll be back at the big grey building where I'll probably end up greeting Mr. Brendan Galloway if he's fit next week. But if not, then there we go. Okay, well, that's cool. Guys, if you're still travelling back from Lincoln, you should be, I don't know, Taunton Deanish at least by now, I'd say. Have a safe travel back to the mighty Guz. We'll hopefully see you all on Thursday night at 8:30, live lounge, or before then at Home Park on Thursday night. Sean,
For the last time, please email the private message, the Block 9 Twitter handle, and I will arrange for the shirt to be brought with me on Tuesday evening so you can have it for the game. Thank you very much, everybody, and I'll wish you all a happy rest of the weekend.
Good night, all.